Remote viewing is the practice of attempting to gather information about a distant or unseen target, such as a person, place, object, or event, using extrasensory perception, ESP, or the mind alone, without relying on the traditional five senses or physical interaction. 1. Origins. It gained popularity in the 1970s when the U.S. government funded projects, like the Stargate Project, to investigate psychic phenomena for military and intelligence purposes. 2. Method. A remote viewer is usually given minimal information, like a set of coordinates or a blind target ID, and then attempts to describe or sketch details about the target through a structured process. 3. Scientific stance. The mainstream scientific community generally considers remote viewing to be pseudoscience. 3. Controlled studies have not consistently produced replicable results above chance levels. 4. Practitioners believe it's a trainable skill, not dependent on innate psychic ability. Here's a basic walkthrough of how a typical remote viewing session might go, especially following what's called the Controlled Remote Viewing (CRV) protocol, developed during those Cold War-era government programs. Step-by-step example of a remote viewing session. 1. Tasking 1. A remote viewer is given a target reference number or coordinates, for example, target 5612-88. 2. They're told nothing about what the target is. 2. It could be anything, a location, event, object, etc. 2. Stage 1, ideogram and initial impressions. 1. The viewer makes a quick squiggle or ideogram, a spontaneous mark that supposedly captures the feel of the target. 2. They jot down impressions like textures, temperatures, smells, sounds, for example, cool, metallic, airy, echoing. 3. Stage 2, sensory and dimensional data. 1. The viewer expands on the sensory info, for example, dry, dusty, open, curved structure, hum of machinery. 2. They might begin sketching abstract shapes or layouts. 4. Stage 3, sketching 1. Now the viewer tries to draw the target, based on what they're receiving. 1. The sketch is often abstract or symbolic. 2. Still no idea what the target is, they're not guessing consciously. 5. Stage 4 and beyond, deeper analysis. 1. They dig deeper into concepts like purpose, energy, emotion, movement, and so on. 2. They might describe things like celebration, anticipation, or transportation. 6. Feedback, later. 1. After the session, the tasker reveals what the target was, for example, the Eiffel Tower, or the Apollo 11 moon landing. 2. Viewer and analyst compare notes to see what details matched or were close. Example target. 1. Target ID, 7729-042. Actual target, the Pyramids of Giza. 3. Viewer data, hot, sandy, angular, ancient, structure, energy of reverence, monument. Even if they didn't say pyramid, the raw impressions might still be considered a hit depending on the accuracy of sensory and conceptual data. If you're curious to train and develop remote viewing, you're not alone. A lot of people get into it either for curiosity, intuitive development, or even creativity boosts. There's a structured way to approach it, often modeled after Controlled Remote Viewing, CRV. Here's a practical starter path. Core principles to keep in mind. 1. Remote viewing is not guessing or daydreaming, it's a disciplined, structured process. 2. Anyone can learn with practice, but it requires patience and consistency. 3. You work blind, not knowing what the target is until after the session. Beginner's Training Roadmap. 1. Get your materials ready. 1. Notebook or sketchpad. 2. Pen or pencil. 3. Timer. 4. A set of pre-selected mystery targets. You'll need a friend to prep these or use online training tools. 2. Practice basic CRV stages. Each stage adds complexity. Here's how to begin. Stage 1. Ideograms and first impressions. 1. Get a random target number, not the actual target, just an identifier. 2. Let your hand draw a spontaneous ideogram, a quick squiggle. 3. Write down immediate impressions, textures, soft, rough, smooth, temperatures, hot, cold, humid. Smells/sounds, metallic, windy, quiet. Stage 2. Expand the senses. 1. Ask yourself, what am I experiencing through touch? Smell? Sight? 2. Log each impression quickly, don't analyze. Stage 3. Sketch 1. Based on your impressions, sketch shapes, structures, or patterns. 1. Keep it simple, don't try to draw the Eiffel Tower, for example. Stage 4 plus, concepts and emotions start describing abstract or emotional impressions, lonely, celebration, energy, technology, etc. 3. Get feedback after your session. 1. Look at the actual target. 2. Compare, were your sensory descriptions close? 2. Did any sketches match major features? This is where the real learning happens, spotting what worked and what didn't. Bonus tips. 1. Meditate regularly, it sharpens inner awareness. 2. Keep a dream journal, lots of RVers say this boosts subconscious flow. 3. Avoid caffeine or distractions during sessions. 4. Stay neutral, don't try to guess the target, just report what comes. The Stargate Project is one of the most intriguing intersections of psychic phenomena and government secrecy. It was a top-secret U.S. Army intelligence program that ran for over 20 years, focused on researching and using psychic abilities for military and espionage purposes, especially remote viewing. The Stargate Project, overview. What was it? A series of classified military and CIA programs that investigated whether psychic phenomena, especially remote viewing, could be used to 1. Spy on foreign governments. 2. Locate hostages or missing persons. 3. Detect enemy weapon sites or military movements. 4. Gain intelligence on Soviet activities during the Cold War. Timeline and code names. 1. 1970s, began as a research program at Stanford Research Institute, SRI, in California. 2. Early projects had names like Scannet, Gondola Wish, and Grill Flame. 3. Stargate became the umbrella name in the 1990s when all programs were consolidated under the Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA. Key people involved. 1. Ingo Swann, considered the father of remote viewing. 1. Developed the CRV method. 2. Russell Targ and Hal Puthoff, physicists at SRI who conducted much of the early research. 3. Joe McMoneagle, a well-known viewer who participated in over 450 remote viewing sessions and was later awarded a Legion of Merit for his work. 4. Pat Price, allegedly made some jaw-dropping remote viewing hits on Soviet military installations. Real targets they claimed to view. 1. Soviet submarine bases. 2. Hostage situations in Iran and Lebanon. 3. Chinese nuclear facilities. 4. Secret U.S. military projects, even ones they weren't told about. Some reports claim accurate descriptions of secret Soviet installations and other targets, although later assessments were mixed. How did it work? Viewers were given blind target coordinates, often just a random number linked to a real-world site, and they had to describe what they saw. 1. Sessions were recorded, analyzed, and sometimes compared with satellite imagery or spy reports. So, did it work? Official evaluation. 1. In 1995, the CIA declassified the project and had it reviewed. 2. The final report stated that while some individual sessions were impressive, the data was too inconsistent or vague to be reliably used for actionable intelligence. 3. Result: the program was shut down in 1995. But, believers say, 1. The program was actually successful, but its results were downplayed or buried for strategic or political reasons. 2. Some former participants, like McMoneagle and Smith, still teach remote viewing and believe it works. One of the wildest remote viewing sessions from the Stargate archives, it's legendary in RV circles and straight-up sci-fi vibes. The Mars viewing, circa 1 million BC. Date of session: 1. May 22, 1984. 2. Conducted by Joseph McMoneagle, viewer 0033. Coordinated by a CIA monitor using CRV protocol setup. The planet Mars. Time of interest, approximately 1 million years BC. What happened? As McMoneagle began to describe what he saw, things got weird fast. Here are actual quotes from the declassified transcript, remote viewing transcript highlights. Interpretation: McMoneagle seemed to describe 1. Massive ancient structures, pyramids, obelisks. 2. A dying civilization. 3. Interplanetary migration. 4. Tall, humanoid beings with advanced knowledge. 5. Some kind of planet-wide catastrophe on Mars. At one point, the monitor even tasked him to follow the beings as they left Mars. McMoneagle described them going to a new planet, possibly Earth, but didn't specify where exactly. Declassified doc. CIA Mars remote viewing transcript, 1984. So what was that? 1. Some interpret this session as evidence of an ancient Martian civilization. 2. Skeptics say it was just imaginative nonsense. 3. McMoneagle himself later said he didn't know what to make of it, he was just reporting what he perceived. Let's crack open another cosmic remote viewing rabbit hole. This one is equally wild, but way more real-world espionage meets psychic sci-fi. Welcome to the Soviet submarine base session. During the Cold War, the U.S. military was desperate to find out what the Soviets were building at a secret naval base in the Arctic Circle, Petropavlovsk, on the Kamchatka Peninsula. Satellites couldn't get good imagery due to cloud cover and geography. So what did the intelligence agencies do? They asked Pat Price, one of the most accurate and controversial remote viewers in the program, to take a psychic peek. What Pat Price reported, in his remote viewing session, Price claimed to see. 1. A large construction project happening underground. 2. Huge crane-like devices with curved arms, used to move submarine-sized objects. 3. A dry dock inside a mountain, cleverly hidden from overhead observation. 4. Advanced technology that had not yet been confirmed by U.S. surveillance. 5. Activity that pointed to the development of a new class of Soviet submarine. Here's where it gets next-level strange. Pat Price also described 1. A team of Soviet psychics who were supposedly monitoring the U.S., possibly even trying to block or confuse psychic attempts. 2. He identified Soviet personnel by name, claiming to see their IDs, offices, and internal schematics. Later confirmation. 1. U.S. satellite and on-the-ground intel eventually confirmed the construction of a major submarine base right where Price described it. 2. Some of the structural details matched almost exactly, even though no official had ever been there. One analyst reportedly said Price's level of detail was uncannily accurate. Far beyond statistical chance. Why this session freaked people out. 1. It was one of the first major military targets where psychic intelligence matched or exceeded what tech could deliver. 2. Price's ability to read building layouts, name foreign personnel, and describe technology started to make even skeptics inside the intelligence community pause. 3. It fed into the belief that ESP could become a legitimate tool of war, or at least one worth developing if the Soviets were doing it too. But it got even weirder. After this session and others, Pat Price mysteriously died in 1975 of a supposed heart attack while on a trip. Some believe foul play was involved, rumors suggest he knew too much, or had gone too deep into something not meant to be uncovered. Beginner remote viewing session guide. What you need. 1. Pen and paper, or a digital sketch pad if you prefer to. A quiet space, minimal distractions. 3. An open mind, don't try to guess, just observe. 4. A target, which you won't know yet, I'll provide one. Step 1, clear your mind. 1. Take a few slow, deep breaths. 2. Let your mind relax, imagine tuning into a blank channel. 3. Don't force images, just be ready to receive impressions. Step 2, target number. You'll use a random target ID as a placeholder. Your target ID is A924TV. Don't try to guess what it is, just focus on that string like a tuning fork. Step 3, first impressions, stage 1. Quickly write down whatever sensory impressions come to you, even if they seem weird, random, or wrong. Ask yourself. 1. What textures do I sense? 1. For example, smooth, rough, metallic, soft. 2. What temperatures? 2. Hot, cold, humid, icy. 3. What sounds? 3. Echoing, buzzing, silence, crashing. 4. What smells? 4. Dusty, ocean air, oil, nature. 5. Emotions? 5. Lonely, exciting, mechanical, ancient. Don't edit. Just jot down anything that floats in. Step 4, sketch something now. On a blank part of your page, draw any shapes, forms, or structures you feel. Are there curves? Angles? Triangles? Open space? A horizon? This is not art class, it's about raw perception, not accuracy. Step 5, concepts and ideas. Do any abstract ideas come to you? Purpose? Is it a place of work, rest, worship? Energy? Peaceful, busy, technological? Is it natural or man-made? Step 6, done? When you feel like the impressions have stopped flowing, you're done. Now, are you ready to see what the actual target is? Just say the word, and And I'll reveal the target connected to A924 TV and we can compare your notes. Let's see what your mind picked up.